Welcome to the Money GPS. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. The geopolitical tensions are rising. We're seeing what's happening all around the world, and of course, every single person should have their eyes peeled. I'm going to bring you what you need to know. The first thing we are looking at is running out of food. Is that a real possibility? I'm going to show you what's happening right now. The second thing, which is directly connected, is China's full stop. Well, at least to some degree. I'll give you the information there. And the third being what's the next stage, what's happening, what's going on, all of that and more. Let's begin right here. The world will run out of food in 27 years, according to the chilling doomsday prediction. Now, you got one scientist here, you got one researcher there, you got Nostradamus over there, and all of them are saying one thing or another, and it never really turns out to be the way it was initially proposed. What we have to understand here are the fundamentals. It is absolutely critical to look at where the food is coming from, where it goes to, and understand all of the moving parts in between. That's what we talk about here. And I'm going to show you what's happening right now. If you have lockdowns, if you have supply chain issues, if you have, let's say, a lack of a desire to do certain things, if you're a farmer and suddenly you're not getting paid enough money or certain input costs are too high and you back away from that business, that affects everything down the line. And this domino effect is extremely difficult to be there every single day and piece together. But that's what I try to do here on this channel. So it is very clear to me that we have concerns when it comes to the food supply. Shanghai erects metal barriers right now, actually blocking businesses and blocking streets and buildings. You stay where you are. You are getting locked down. This is going on right now. We are in 2022. This isn't 2020, and yet we are starting to see those reverberations today. What does that mean? Of course, people are getting in some cases, they have to stay at work because it's not as if, hey, you get to work at home right now. It's back in 2020 for some places in the US and Canada and others. No, you stay at work and you work. And that's the way that it has been going for people in Shanghai. They've been sharing a little bit about that. But what goes on when you see the lockdowns? Oh, well, suddenly people start rushing to the store and they buy whatever they can. This is important. This is also connected in with this article here. It's talking about Tunisia. Across North Africa, bakeries are providers of subsidized daily sustenance and a barometer of the public mood. So when the Tunisian president sought to counter reports that food staples like flour have become scarce, a seemingly well-stocked Tunis bread maker where he used to shop made for a useful backdrop, or so he thought. As the bakery's owner last month gently insisted shortages were real, he said that, of course, they're starving the people. But understand that there's so much to this. A lot of people have said that this is contrived, that what we are watching today is an event that's actually being manufactured. I do not have that evidence or proof, but I think we should keep an open mind. Is what we are seeing today something that, is actually being created? To you, the individual, it's not a matter of let's spend all our time focusing on who's doing what and who's responsible, and then you end up pulling on some strings and you get small details here and there. Is it Billy G? Oh, he's buying up all the farmland. Is it Monsanto? Is it this and that? Or is where we should be investing the majority of our time and effort on getting our own food, of stockpiling our own food, growing it in our backyards, growing it on balconies, whatever we can do. Because ultimately, this is the result. Higher prices, less availability. So put your time and attention into where you get the best impact, essentially, for you, your family. And then once you have all those things in place, then you could spend more time doing the other things. That's the way I see it. If you appreciate the information, hit that thumbs up, okay? This is talking about what's happening in China. Well, apparently, a finance crackdown is growing as more than 40 officials are ensnared. The same thing with the tech industry, dealing with some issues, isn't it so? This is happening right now. And then they came out, there was that bounce that we saw in the tech industry in China. What was that all about? Oh, yes. Don't worry, everybody. We're gonna go easy on you. They had the premier, basically like the second guy in command in the country. Hey, don't worry, the crackdown, it's over. You're gonna be all good. From here on out, everything's gonna be fine. That was just like, I don't want to say a lie. Maybe it's true, right? But that that didn't mean that, hey, now everything's good, we're gonna just open up everything, it's all fine. No, 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 you gotta understand this at a deeper level. Tests go to ration cooking oil purchases as the war in Ukraine hikes food prices. Store becomes the latest supermarket to limit customers as the conflict chokes off the flow of sunflower oil to the UK. One product after another product could be in a shortage. Foxconn's key iPhone plant operating in lockdown China region. This is important, not just because of iPhones, but because of what it means for all of these other products. Okay, now I want to go through a lot of these different things. We are going to basically go one after the other after the other. I'm just going to show you some, this is from Twitter. And so, again, I can't verify it. I'm not in Beijing. I'm not in Shanghai. But look at what we're seeing. Okay, anxious vibe in Beijing, where 4 million people, including me and my family, worry a lockdown is coming, mass testing for everyone, long lines, and so on. The shelves are empty. So you could look at this. A lot of that's empty. Nice squash there, by the way. Love that squash. Just showing you. It doesn't mean that the store is completely empty. Don't take it that way. But you can see that, people are going, they're buying up. The extended Shanghai lockdown is morphing into a logistics disaster as trucks trickle into the city, leaving empty containers piling up at the world's largest port. So there's a whole thread if you want to check it out. This is key. I've been talking extensively about Shanghai, and I will, of course, as the port, as it relates to freight, I should say, in the future. So keep an eye out for that. A large private consumer kitchenware manufacturer told me that they have seen a large contraction in demand over the past 8 weeks. We're watching this all over the place. Prices have risen. People are saying, oh, is interest rates going to go up now? I'm going to back away from that purchase. I'm going to back away from that one. But I still need this and that, so I have to buy those things. There will be a surge of containers from China when it resumes its economy, but no one knows when this will happen, how long it will take, and how backed up the domestic supply chains are. For now, we know that the freight market is slowing and it's only making things worse. Completely agree. The coming volume drop in ocean container volumes leaving China for US ports is staggering. Our ocean volume index now has a 14-day forward look at volumes, and it looks ugly. By early May, we could see the lowest levels that we've seen since May 2020. That is huge. That is so key. Think about all of that, what we saw in 2020, how crazy that was. And now, in this respect, going back to those levels, people must be aware of all of this. Please, I don't know how to say it any other way. Okay, let's take a quick look at this. I want to keep it as quick as possible for this video because I really just wanted to highlight what's been happening to give you the updates. Australia is totally freaking out about the possibility of China's Navy base in the Solomon Islands, which is, quote, just 2,000 kilometers from Australia. Meanwhile, the US has nearly 200 military bases in Japan, South Korea, which are more than, quote, more than 300 kilometers from China, nearly half of US overseas. So this compares that, and I just highlight this because of, on top of everything that's happening with the supply chain and with all of these, all these different things that are going on, we've got the geopolitical tensions rising. And Australia, China, they are partners in a sense, but over the last few years, there has been that back and forth, and it's better to be a trading partner than to be an adversary. That's the way I look at it anyway. Global military spending tops $2 trillion for the first time as Europe boosts defenses. And you could see in a chart right here, military spending reaches record levels. United States down slightly, but still by far and large, on the top of the list, I guess, if you want to think of it like that. China comes in second place at 293 billion versus United States 800 billion. And then you go down: India, Britain, Russia, France, Germany. So this is important because during this period of time in which people need the most basic thing, they need food, and governments seem to be, instead of focusing on, hey, let's get the food supply ready, and water, by the way, like, if you want stability, if you really wanted stability, like if that was the actual goal, you would worry more and you would put more money into the food supply and the water supply for your particular nation. If that's covered, your people are going to be way better off and the prosperity is going to go up. Everyone has abundance and everything's going to be better because of the chain reaction that that creates. But instead, you go put these military bases in other countries and you start dropping love from 30,000 feet up in the sky. Oh, I went there. PBOC advisor calls for growth boosting policy as yuan risks loom. So this is getting into, yeah. Okay, we're going to end the video there. That's all. Okay, if you appreciate it, hit that thumbs up, and see you on the next one. Take care.